The Corvin hegemony had ruled the galaxy for 3 millennia. Their diplomatic corps was legendary for its ability to negotiate the surrender of entire species without firing a single shot. Fear was their currency, and intimidation their greatest weapon. Ambassador Vexthal stood in the pristine halls of the United Nations building in New York, his 6 eyes gleaming with predatory satisfaction. Behind him, for lesser diplomats from various client species waited nervously. The humans had requested a formal diplomatic meeting, which could only mean one thing: surrender. Secretary General Catherine Walsh entered the chamber with her usual composed demeanor, flanked by 2 unremarkable human aides. She took her seat across from the alien delegation without ceremony. "Ambassador," she began simply, "you requested this meeting." Vexthal's mandibles clicked in what passed for a smile among his species. "Indeed, the Corvin hegemony brings you terms for your accommodation into our empire." He activated a holographic display showing Earth surrounded by massive warships. 1,000 dreadnoughts currently orbit your world. Each carries enough firepower to crack a continent. The human aides took notes. Secretary General Walsh remained perfectly still. "Your surrender," Vexthal continued, "must be unconditional. 70% of your population will be relocated to labor colonies. Your military will be disbanded. Your leaders will be replaced with more suitable administrators." He leaned forward, savoring the moment. "You have 72 hours to comply. Refuse, and your species will be extinct by week's end. This is not a negotiation. It is a statement of fact." The silence stretched for nearly a minute. Then Secretary General Walsh stood. "Gentlemen," she said to her aides, "please escort our guests to the secure conference room downstairs. I believe they'll find the accommodations adequate for their final hours." Vexthal's translator struggled with the words. "Final hours? Human, you do not seem to understand." The doors burst open. Human soldiers in black tactical gear flooded the room with military precision. The alien diplomats barely had time to register shock before neural disruptors rendered them unconscious. What the Corvin hegemony hadn't realized was that humanity had been expecting them for months. Deep space monitoring stations had tracked the fleet's approach from the moment they entered the solar system. More importantly, human intelligence had been studying Corvin psychology for decades. The Corvins believed in the supremacy of fear. They had never encountered a species that understood fear so intimately that they had learned to weaponize it in return. 6 hours after the diplomatic meeting, every major news network in Corvin space received the same broadcast. Secretary General Walsh sat behind a simple wooden desk, her hands folded calmly in front of her. "People of the galaxy," she began, "the Corvin hegemony sent representatives to Earth with terms for our surrender. We found their proposal inadequate." Behind her, 5 ornate boxes sat on pedestals. Each bore the distinctive markings of the Corvin diplomatic service. Ambassador Vexthal and his delegation seemed to believe that fear was an effective negotiating tactic. "We decided to show them what fear actually looks like when wielded by a species that has spent its entire evolutionary history perfecting the art of violence." She gestured to the boxes. "These contain the heads of your diplomatic corps." Each was removed with surgical precision by some of Earth's finest military surgeons. "We wanted to ensure the message was delivered with appropriate clarity." The camera zoomed in on Walsh's eyes, and for the first time, the watching galaxy saw something that made every predator species in Corvin space take an involuntary step backward. They saw the cold, calculating fury of humanity unleashed. "The 1,000 ships currently orbiting Earth have 36 hours to leave our solar system," she continued. "Any vessel remaining after that time will be destroyed. Not damaged, not captured, destroyed. Completely and utterly." She leaned forward slightly. "You see, the Corvin hegemony made a critical error in judgment. You assumed that because we had not yet demonstrated our capacity for violence on a galactic scale, we lacked that capacity entirely. You confused our restraint for weakness." The broadcast ended with a simple statement that would echo through history. Humanity does not negotiate with terrorists. We eliminate them. 34 hours later, the Corvin fleet began its retreat from Earth's solar system. It was the beginning of the end of their 3,000-year empire.